Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, my dear students. Today I am going to explain the last one topic of unit number 1, the brain and nerves of class 5, and the topic is sense organs. So let's begin. We have 5 different senses. So for that we have 5 different sense organs. These are eyes, nose, tongue, ear and skin. So let's begin with our topic. The eyes. This is basically on your page 6. The eyes are set in sockets in the skull and are protected by the bones. The eyes are set in sockets. Sockets is an empty hole or bowl. So the eyes are set in the sockets in the skull and protected by the bones. The colored part of the eye is the iris. You have to know that there are basically 5 main parts of eyes, that is iris, pupil, retina, lens and cornea. So what is iris? The colored part of the eye is known as iris. The pupil is a hole in the center of the iris which allows light to enter the eyes. The pupil is a hole in the center of the eyes which allows light to enter the eye. The third one is cornea. The cornea is basically the transparent front part of the eye that cover iris. Cornea basically cover iris and inner part of the eyes. Number 4, lens. The lens focuses the picture on a screen called the retina. The lens focuses the picture on a screen called retina. Retina is basically works like a screen. Retina basically works like a screen which displays everything. And which nerve carries the message to the brain? Optic nerve. Always remember whenever we talk about eyes or sense of sight, so we use a word optic. So basically the optic nerve carries the message to the brain. Next one is nose. The nerves carry a message to the brain and you detect the smell. Which one nerves? Sensory nerves. We have studied in our previous lecture that sensory nerves carries signals to the brain or the spinal cord. So basically the smell are chemicals in the air. Smell are just like a chemical in the air. These dissolve on the moist lining of the nostrils. What are nostrils? Nostrils basically are your nose inner area, opening area is known as nostrils. So these dissolve, which dissolve? These chemicals smells, right? A smell is just like a chemical. So these dissolve on the moist lining of the nostrils. The nerve carry a message to the brain and you can detect the smell. Always remember you also use your nose to breathe. You also use your nose to breathe. Okay, next one is the tongue. This is basically used for sense of taste. The tongue detects different taste, sweet, sour, salty, and bitter and umami. First, you have to underline the word umami, which is quite new for you. Basically, the savory taste of food described as meaty is known as umami, or you can say the protein-rich food is known as the taste of the protein-rich food is known as umami. The fifth one, taste, right? So you can see in this picture, in the last one area of our tongue, we taste bitter, like bitter gourd, right? The upper corner of our tongue, we taste sour. In the lower down corner, we taste salty. And the tip of, or from the tip of your tongue, you can taste sweet. So this is the organ which is used for sense of taste. Moving to the next one, that is air. First you have to understand that how many parts does air have. These are 3: outer air, middle air and inner air. The outer air directs sound to a thin membrane, the eardrum. When any sound hits your outer ear, it directs that sound to the thin membrane, and thin membrane is known as eardrum. You can also see in this picture, first your outer ear, then the whole area is middle ear, and the last one is your inner ear, right? So when the outer ear directs the sound to eardrum, sound vibrations. There are some vibration in sound. So sound vibration pass on the inner ear. From the right to the middle ear, it passes into the inner ear. Middle ear is just work like your way, a path, right, for the sound wave. So when your outer ear directs the sound to the eardrum, the sound waves from the middle ear passes to the inner ear, right? Where the nerves, after reaching the inner ear, where the nerves carry the message to the brain, then the nerves carry message to the brain. So these three are the basic part of ear: an outer ear, then middle ear, inner ear. Always remember, middle ear is just work like a way or a path. It shows a path for the sound waves to pass through. Next one is the skin. This is used for sense of touch. The skin enables you to feel heat, cold, pain, pressure and touch. You can also underline this. The skin enables you to feel heat, cold, pain, pressure and touch. Skin basically enables you to feel. Always remember, skin enables you to feel. The skin has thousands of receptor cells. These receptors send information to the brain about things we touch. Right? What are receptors? Basically, they transmit a signal to a sensory nerve. They are able to respond to light or heat, etc. Always remember, for each type of sensation, we have different receptor cells. And you can see in your book as well and in this picture that after here, what is the top layer of your skin? It's known as epidermis. The top layer of skin is known as epidermis. Then after below epidermis or your top layer, there is another layer which is known as dermis. And after dermis, the last one layer is known as fat. Right? So that doesn't mean that here is the first one. No, the first one layer after here, you can easily see in your skin hair, tiny hairs, right? So after that, hair, smooth hair, tiny hair, the first one layer of skin is known as epidermis. Below than the epidermis or the top layer of skin is known as dermis, and the last one is known as fat layer. So these are basically the 5 sense organ which is used for 5 different senses: sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of touch, sense of taste and sense of sound or sense of hearing. Okay, so my dear students, here I'm ending my topic because we have completed the whole first one unit, which is the brain and the nerves, and I'm recalling it. In this unit we have studied about brain, nerves and sense organ. And what is nervous system? The complete communication between brain, spinal cord and nerves, or the effective communication is known as communication paths known as nervous system. Okay, note down your homework. You have to do exercise number 1 plus 3 on page 8 and 9 on your book. Then you have to attempt activities question number 1 plus 2 on page 10. And fun pages question number 1, page number 21, which is related to your this one unit.